So let's continue working with a couple problems here. We need to graph in order to find the solution of the system of equations. So we need to graph these lines. I can see here in problem 3 that I have slope-intercept form, which means I've got y equals mx plus b. Now since b is my y-intercept is 4. That's the first thing I'm going to plot on that line. So in this red, I'm going to plot that first line. So my y-intercept is 4. I also see that I have a slope of 4. Well, slope is equal to rise over run, which means my rise is 4. If I'm going to turn 4 into a fraction, I put it 4 over 1. So now let's go ahead and graph that. We're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 1, which means I'm going to have my point right there. Now, I can't go up any further because I'm going to end up off the graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, well, 4 over 1 is equal to 4, but also negative 4 over negative 1 is equal to 4. So what I can do is I can go backwards. So I can go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the left 1. And so I could find a point there. I can do the same thing again, find another point, and another point. So now I've got 5 different perfect points here. So I'm going to go ahead and connect those together. And I'm going to use that straight edge to try and make this as straight as possible. All right, so now we've got our first line, which has been graphed. So now we need to graph our second line because we need to find the solution to the system of equations, which means we've got more than one. So let's go ahead and look here. Y equals mx plus b. So we got y equals mx plus b. So our y-intercept is plus 2. So let's go ahead and put that positive 2 there. And then my slope is equal to 6. So this time, if my slope is equal to 6, m equals rise over run, that means I'm going to have to make 6 a fraction, which means it's going to be 6 over 1. Not 6 over 6, 6 over 1. So that means my rise is 6. So I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right 1. So I found my first point there. I can't go up any further or I'm going to end up off the graph, so now I have to turn around and go the other direction, which means I'm going to go negative 6 and negative 1. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left 1. That's where I'm going to find that point, and then I'm going to do it again, negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then to the left 1 again, and I found now the rest of my perfect points. So now that I have found all of my perfect points, I'm going to go ahead and connect this together. That was a pretty bad line, so I'm going to go ahead and try and redraw that. So I'm going to connect those together now. Don't know if that's that much better, but we can see that the intersection of the 2 points, remember when we're graphing, we're trying to find that intersection. That intersection is right there, which means that my solution is 1 and 8. I've got 1 and 8. So now let's go ahead and look at problem 4. Problem 4, again, we've got 2 equations here. They're written in slope-intercept form, so we're going to be looking at y equals mx plus b. Now my b value here is plus 1, which means I'm going to first put a point on positive 1. My m value is 9, which means that I need to go 9 up and 1 to the right. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 1 to the right. So I found my first point there, or my second point there. I'm going to go ahead and go the opposite direction now, which means I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then to the left 1. Find my point there. So now we've got our line. We're going to go ahead and draw that as neatly as possible through there. Boop, boop. There we go. All right, so we've got our first line. Now let's go ahead and work on our next one. Our second line, we also have slope-intercept form. We have y equals mx plus b. I can see that my plus b is plus 9, so I'm going to put a point on positive 9. Now my m value, I don't have an m value here. There's nothing multiplied by x, which means I have to remember that that means we have a 1 times x. X by itself is just 1x, which means our slope, which is rise over run, is going to be equal to 1 over 1. So that means I'm going to go up 1, right 1. So I go up 1, right 1, and I've got my point there. I can go the other direction, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, and I can keep going and going. And we can see here that it's going to be a perfect 45-degree line through all of those perfect points all the way down. And then we'll put our arrows on both ends. So, again, we're trying to find our solution to our system of equations. Our solution to the system of equations is going to be the point where those two lines intersect. So I'm going to go ahead and circle that point, and I can see that that point is at 1 and 10. So the solution to my system of equations is 1, 10.